Hello, everyone. I am so excited. I am so excited. This is March. I haven't talked to you I feel like it's been a month since I talked to you. But I'm so excited for March. All the good things are happening, and I wish you all the good things come your way, all the blessings, whatever you are wanting to accomplish, let it come your way once the spring starts. And today I'm excited to share with you somebody who's closer to my heart, who is started off as an individual I got to know, and then she became my friend. And there are some people who you come across in your life who you feel like they are the well-wishers, right? Right from the get-go. And that is how I felt about this person. And who's authentic, who speaks truly from the heart, and who cares for people authentically, and who gives feedback when they are asked for a feedback. They give authentic feedback without sugarcoating it. So, I am so excited to have you meet this individual who is amazing soul, beautiful soul inside and out. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lisa Thamann, and I'm hoping I'm saying her last name correct, who is the owner of Salt and Soul Wellness. Welcome, Lisa.
Well, thank you, Aruna. As you were speaking about how we met and becoming quick friends, I was thinking about that before I came on here with you, and it's been such an amazing, beautiful journey to be with you and get to know you. And yeah, I just love everything about that. So thank you so much for having me.
Welcome. You're welcome. So I want you to start off saying what inspired you to start Salt and Soul Wellness, and what was the moment that you felt like this is needed for the community, and what drew you to start this business? Describe the journey.
Wow. Yeah. So, what I would say is my journey started 15 years ago when I was going to traditional doctors, and there's a place for traditional and holistic, but I was going because I wasn't well. I didn't feel well. Yeah, there were a lot of things happening in my life, a lot of stress going on. Going to doctors, they would say, they would do all these tests, MRIs, blood work, everything you can think of. Sitting in front of a doctor, him saying, "Well, Lisa, there's nothing wrong with you." And I
Mm,
went, "Oh, like, really? Then why do I feel like this?" So I had a friend of mine say to me, "There's this doctor, a holistic doctor, and I know there's many. You should go see her." So I went to see her, and she did different kinds of tests and found out that I was stage 2 adrenal fatigue, which means, your fight or flight is off and cortisol and all of that kinds of stuff. So that started my journey of holistic wellness, knowing that there's a place for that. And it took me when I started that about 2 years to actually feel well. And so then I was on a search
mm,
for everything holistic wellness. And I still do the traditional medicine. But then fast forward, my sister, Karen, opened a salt room. 2020, she opened a salt room. February was shut down in March, but then
mm.
reopened. She's been open for 6 years. And so I've been watching her, and she's been talking to me, and she's like, you should do this. You'd be really good at it. And I've always had a passion for people. and serving them and loving them. And, how can we continue to do those kinds of things? So, let's see, January of 2025, Karen said, I have people coming from your area of town, like Mason, Westchester. We should talk about opening. So that was really the start of the true journey of opening Salt and Soul Wellness. So,
Because when I met you from the Mason Chamber of Commerce, um, when I said hello to you, that was an instant connection because I felt like you are a very authentic person. When I say that, people say authentic for so many reasons. But when I felt that, it was like you truly care rather than like transactional, you really cared to know who I am as an individual rather than like, okay, let's do business or that's what I felt. And so, how do you describe Salt and Soul Wellness? If Salt and Soul Wellness is an individual with the beating heart, you know, how would you describe that to someone who's new, who has never heard about it? What is it?
it's love. It's a sacred place. It's calm.
Mhm.
It's peaceful. Um, it's like when someone walks in my door and they stand there and they just look around and you can just see their face,
Mhm.
how instantly they're just calm. And then they'll say, "This feels so amazing to be here." That's what I want for people. I want them just to find a place,
Mhm.
a space to be still. If they want to come in and just sit and talk and come in and get a hug. Like I just want people to be loved. That's what Salt and Soul Wellness means to me. And I hope that means the same for others when
Yeah.
they're coming here.
Um, that is so well said because I feel like you are an embodiment of love. And of course, when people come to meet you or in your place, I'm sure they'll feel that. Um, yes, your hug is very, you can feel the hug, you can feel the love.
Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. Um, so, how do you, in your opinion, how do you define success?
Wow. I mean, I think success has changed for me over the years. It used to be, oh, I got to find a job. Oh,
Mhm.
and um, family and, all the things like I guess that we were taught to strive for. Now, success for me is having people find a place like Salt and Soul, and it can be anything for anybody, but I just want people to feel loved. I mean, I always go back to love, but that to me, success is when people, I've been told I've been a calming support. And just success to me is just supporting people, loving people, connecting with people. And then that spills over into family and friends and community and business and all the things. So I think that's where it starts for me now in my life.
Why is love so important? Why do you think they need to feel loved?
Well, I believe that, God is love. Um, and people call God different, universe, whatever that means to people. God is love, and God connects us at the soul level, and that's why love is important to me. Um, it makes people feel great and good and amazing, and So, yeah.
It's amazing. Salt and soul wellness, and then you have the heart logo. It speaks.
Yes. Yeah. The little heart at the top. Yeah.
Yes.
Infinity. And yeah,
Yes.
it was very intentional
Yeah.
when this was created.
Yeah. Um, so how was it different? Um, when people come to you, I know you said that when they walk through the doors, they feel calm, or they just, if you want them to feel, be present, be still with themselves, connect with themselves. Why is it important, out of all the time? Why do you think it is important for people to feel present?
Yeah. I mean, again, I always go back to my journey
Mhm.
and the time, like when I was telling you the time where I wasn't feeling well, like 15 years ago, I wasn't going in and I wasn't present. And what I've learned on my journey is when I am still and I meditate and I pray and I go inward into my heart and my soul is where I find the most beauty and love. And then being able to do that, to love me, myself, and not egotistically, like just loving who I am able then to share that love with others. And I just love when the light bulb goes off with people. You have seen it. I know you have on your journey when you're speaking with people and then maybe you'll see them 2 weeks, 3 4 weeks, months later, years later, and you just see the difference just by giving them that opportunity to see who they truly are.
Yeah. And you also give them the space. I noticed that as well. You give them the space, energetically, you give them the space, and now that you have a physical space, you give them the space for them to go inward, be still, be present, however that might be, right? So how is Salt and Soul different from others? What makes it unique?
Wow, I do often think about that, and I think it's just okay. I'm going to say this again, it's not being like the ego or whatever. It's when I am here and God is spirit, angels, all my guides are here working through me. People feel that. And I think that's how Salt and Soul is different than other wellness places.
That is
It's
so true.
spirit. It's spirit.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know how else to describe that.
It is, you can say the spirit. I feel like you just create a conducive space because you, like I said, you are an embodiment of love, and you hold that unjudgmental space for people.
Yes.
And when I came in, it was like, it truly felt unjudgmental. And you asked me to pick out a card, and it was like, whoa, that was interesting. I just needed that. And those are the unique things I felt, when you said when you said, you are guided, you are standing there, or you are being present there, because you are guided by the angels and God and spirit and guides, and without you being egoistical, and it's like, well, I am the one who's created the space. No, you were like, okay, I am just a conduit, and
Right.
I'm just acting based on how my guides, God is guiding me to, rather than like, I am the owner, which you are. But that's how
Right.
I felt. Is that fair?
Yes. And I appreciate you saying that. Aruna, what I've learned also through my journey is we are all so different, but we're all so the same. Um, but what I mean by being different, our journeys are so different, but then we're, I feel like spirit always guides us to people who, in perfect timing, who we need to meet and to help us with our journey on whatever that looks like, mind, body, soul, mind, body, wellness, whatever that looks like for people. So,
Yes, and when you said, we come in alignment with the right people at the right time, sometimes that person, it's not like, hey, okay, Lisa, okay, Aruna. No, it's sometimes it's like, hey, do you see what you're doing? Like calling you forward, not calling you out, but calling
right,
you forward. There are only few people who do it so efficiently in a non-judgmental space. And
right, yeah,
I see you do that so effortlessly. So
thank you.
yeah, you do that so effortlessly. He's like you will say things like, I'm going to ask you this because I feel like I wanted to ask, and if you feel aligned, do it. So that is very non-judgmental, but at the same time, you are providing an opportunity. It's up to the person in front of you to take that and go with it or to reject it.
Well, I'm just gonna say something funny about what you just said is my sisters, like in my family, I'll say, is it okay if I ask a question? Or I feel like I'm always the one saying something, and then they all go, "Oh my God, look out. Lisa's gonna ask a question and she's gonna be like making us accountable." And so
Yeah.
I've always been that one in the family to do things like that. But then I know they appreciate it, but we joke about it. But people do appreciate, I think, when you do ask questions. So yeah, not always easy to do, but
Yes. Yes, because we are thinking like, oh, what will this person think if I ask this question? Will they take it in the right way? And there are only certain people who ask the question at the right time, in the right way, in a non-judgmental fashion. And you're
yes.
one of those people. And
And when you come from love, when you come from a place of love,
yes,
then it's accepted differently than, you know,
yes.
yeah,
And sometimes it's challenging.
yes.
When people call you out or call you forward, it's like, whoa, I didn't even think of it from that perspective. And, so yes. So that is a
Yeah.
compliment.
Yes.
um, I wanted to ask you, any challenge that you felt that it was hard for you, and then how did you overcome that? And what did you gain by overcoming that challenge?
I guess when I opened Salt and Soul, or are you asking for any challenge?
It can
Uh,
be about salt and soul or any challenge.
so wow.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I've had many challenges, but I think well, personally, I'll talk about a personal challenge that this was like 2012 when actually before I went and started my wellness journey. Personally, we had some things in our life that happened. Um, and I tried to do things on my own. I didn't tell people about things. My son was in a car accident when he was 17, and so that that triggered a journey of, oh my gosh, where do we go from here kind of thing. And family coming together, but I didn't reach out to other people probably for 8 months. People didn't know what I was dealing with personally, and as a family. And so, but what I learned from that challenge is that there are so many people in this world, in your community, in your just little group of people who are there to help you when you ask. And so that was a huge learning for me to just ask. And so now I ask. I ask people for help. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help. We all are on a journey and we're all here to help each other. That's what I believe. So with Salt and Soul, I always knew there was something that I was brought to this earth to do. Like we all are. I believe we all have purpose, but we're always on a journey to find that purpose, and what that means to us, because everybody's different. Uh, and when I was working at the chamber, the Mason Deerfield Chamber, I always, excuse me, I always said, oh my gosh, I can't leave this place because my people, I always called the members of the chamber my people. And what are they going to do without me? Like, and that's a little bit like I was trying to be humble, but then be, like I still want to serve them. And so, but when I stepped into saying, no, there's more to my journey than just the Mason Deerfield Chamber. And I'm not going to lose those people. They're always going to be there. But it's going to be a different kind of relationship. And we're always going to be connected. So that was a challenge for me to figure out. I'm going from this, what I learned and loved, and it was like inbred in me to go to a new place, Salt and Soul Wellness. And what does that mean to me? So, but I always go back to asking questions and knowing that the people that you have relationships with love you and will support you and will, I guess, guide you and always be there for you. So,
Thank you. That is so well said. So you said you were thinking you cannot leave the chamber because they are your people, and so how has that evolved? Now that you have Salt and Soul, and I want you to connect that with what is the salt in Salt and Soul? How is that connected? Tell us a little bit about that.
oh, yeah. Well, when people say salt, I've always said, oh, the salt of the earth. We're all granulars of
Mhm.
salt, or we're granulars in this whole huge mass world. And even if you go on beyond, the stars and the galaxy and oh, Aruna, we could have lots of conversations. But I think we're just this little tiny speck, um, just trying to I guess, do or be and bring our purpose to people. I don't know. Going
That
back.
is so good. That is so good. You said we are all granulars in this huge galaxy, and we are a tiny speck and be a purpose. Ooh, that is so deep. We are a tiny speck and be a purpose or be of purpose. That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
So,
no, that's fine because I kind of forgot what you asked me.
what I'm asking is, you said, when you're in the chamber, the members are your people, and how has that evolved now that you opened Salt and Soul Wellness? How has that evolved? And then connect the salt. What is it? What does Salt and Soul Wellness mean? Why is the salt connected? I know you said you for you when you mentioned we are a speck and be of purpose. That's how you define, but I want you to go deep and tell me, what do you do in Salt and Soul Wellness? How is the salt connected?
Yes. So, Salt and Soul Wellness is a wellness center, and we offer the salt room therapy, which helps with our respiratory inflammation. It's kind of like sitting on a beach and most people have sat on a beach with the waves coming in, but you can taste and smell the salt in the air. Uh, everything that God has given us on this earth is helps heal us in some way. Um, but we also offer red light therapy, which again, we get the red light, the infrared light from the sunrise and the sunset. Um, but how often are we outside these days in nature? I would encourage people to step out, walk in the grass barefoot, go hug a tree. um, but anyway, try to go out when the sun is rising and when the sun is setting. It's beautiful because, there's so many beautiful colors out there. And then we have infrared sauna, which helps detox. Um, so everything we offer here on the upper level is good for detoxing our bodies. And then Salt and Soul Wellness also is not just about those three modalities. We also have people who do healing touch or Reiki. We have people who do massage, yoga, soundbath. We have people who do Rife machine, vibration frequency healing. So Salt and Soul Wellness is really expanding into needs of people, something, some people might come in and say, oh, I don't like to sit in the sauna. Okay, well, let's talk about what other opportunities there are to help heal your body. So I think that's what Salt and Soul is. It's really expanding into more of a wellness center.
Okay. Um, for somebody who doesn't know what the benefits of um, halotherapy, salt, being in the salt room, can you explain for somebody who has not been there, what will they experience when they come into your salt room?
Yeah, so it's been I'll just say it's been exciting and fun when I have people come in and say, I have never heard of this. My friend said I should come. And I don't know what to expect, but they come in and you can hear, they have sinus or congestion or migraine headache or just having a hard time breathing. And so I will walk them into the salt room, and we have chairs, like lounging chairs, so you can lay, meditate, read a book, listen to music. And we have a generator. It's kind of, I mean, see, I'm a visual, so like I want to walk over and show you the generator. But anyway, we put the fine, very fine salt into the generator. It blows into the room, and I tell people, just sit. You can sit, or you can take deep breaths because it's good. It gets into your respiratory system. And by the time 45 minutes later, when they walk out, they they're like, oh my goodness, I never thought I could breathe the way I breathe. It just really helps people, breathe better. It gets rid of migraines and the sinus, like kind of that's always in, a lot of people have here. Um, and it helps people sleep. Um, it helps with depression, anxiety. So yeah, there's so many benefits.
And so it's literally you're simulating the scene of beach without the waves. And what does the salt provide?
Well, when you're breathing it in, um, it provides the relaxation and just the ability to, get rid of the mucus and the
Mm.
coughing and, all of that in your respiratory system.
So that is so nice because we have always felt, people who have gone to the beach, you feel calm because of the sound of the ocean and then the saltiness. Is it the negative ions or is it the positive ions that comes from the
It's
salt
the negative ions. Yes.
that helps also, right?
Yes.
To help us to breathe better, and you feel much more calmer, and you are able to take deep breaths and stimulate the vagus nerve. And vagus nerve goes throughout your gut, your heart, your lungs, and your neck, and all of that. So I'm sure that helps. That might be the reason why people feel like more calm and they can
Yes.
feel like all the stress on their shoulders that they're holding, like Hercules is, they can drop them and relax. So you are actually simulating that without the ocean waves. Do you play music as well?
Yes. So I do have ocean waves.
Mm.
I let people pick what they want, but
Mm.
mostly we play like the 528 hertz, which
Yes.
is the frequency of love, and
Oh,
then 432 is happiness and joy.
yes.
So I mostly am playing that in here when
Very
I'm here.
nice. Yes. Well, you are that embodiment of that frequency, and then you are playing that too. That's great. Yeah, 432, I've heard the researchers mention it when they listen to that frequency, it helps people lower the blood pressure level if it is high,
Yes.
to lower it, and so they are able to relax better and to let go of the stress. So that's great. 432 hertz, very nice.
Yes.
Okay, and you also
Yes.
have ocean wave sound if they pick that.
Yes. Yeah, I like to let people pick what what they're feeling. So
Mhm.
most people will pick those out of those three. They'll pick one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is great. And tell me a little bit more about um, can anyone get the salt therapy, or is there any people who you would say, hey, this might not be a good fit?
Yeah. So I have had people ask, they have high blood pressure
Mm.
and their doctors have said, you know, you should cut back on salt.
Mm.
And I always say, please ask your doctor because I want people to feel comfortable coming here. Now, ingesting salt and breathing salt is different. Now,
Yes.
I am not a doctor and I am not a nurse and I'm not a scientist, but um, when you ingest salt, and you may be able to speak more to this, but when you ingest salt, it gets into your digestive system and it reacts differently in your body. When you inhale salt, and the salt is very minuscule versus what you're ingesting. Um, so, yes, there is a difference there. And we do have families who bring their children here. We have people who bring them when they're getting over colds. We have people who do proactive and they bring them in before they get sick. So
Yes.
any age, and you can do salt every day.
Mhm.
But yes, I definitely recommend asking your doctor if you have any kind of medical questions.
Okay.
So
Perfect. And red light therapy, what does it do for one's body, and who can benefit from it?
yes, so um, again, I do recommend asking your doctor if you have questions. I have mostly people who use it here, but there's athletes who use it before
Mm.
and after working out. Great for muscle recovery.
Mm.
There are many people who are using the red light mask or laser, like the wands for their
Mm.
face for wrinkles. They
Mm.
get great results. Um, Hair loss, collagen, nerve, and nerve relief,
Mm.
fat loss,
Mm.
inflammation. Red light is good for so many things. And what we have here is a full body red light. So you'll have the panel, and then we have the red light mat on the bottom for getting benefit for both sides. And
Wow.
what I have noticed with I have a couple people using it for fibromyalgia, just helping with mobility.
Mm.
Um, and then I have people who are using it for lower back pain. And they say, my pain has gone, the level of my pain is down. But what I've noticed is I'm able to move better. I'm able to walk more. So that when I hear things like that, that makes me happy that people are feeling some relief. Yeah.
Very nice. So it builds collagen, and among the other benefits. And when you said they can wear a mask, or I know you said that there is a mat underneath, and then they're laying on the mat, and then there is red light on the top as well. Are they wearing a mask that has red light as well?
No, no, I don't offer the mask here, but they
Okay.
wear glasses or goggles on their eyes to protect their eyes. But there's many people using, there's like a red light mask that people
Mm.
just put on their faces that helps with wrinkles. So, and I
But
think that the red light is different versus the full body panel. The lighting is stronger with the panels versus some of the mats or the mask that people buy. And they
mm,
still work. It's just the lighting is different, if that
mm.
makes sense.
So they are still getting the benefit, and you ask them to wear glasses to protect their eyes, but they are still getting the benefit of the light from the overhead red light.
Yes,
Okay, on
yes.
their face as well.
On their face, yes. Yeah,
Yes. Okay. And they are
yeah.
fully clothed when they are laying on the red light.
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So no, recommendation is to wear as least clothes as possible. So because the light will not penetrate the your clothes. And then even there's different wavelengths of light. So it goes from like 630 to 850. The higher the wavelength, the deeper it goes cellular. So the 850 wavelength is the one that actually goes deeper to your cellular level. And the programs that we have programmed in the panel, they go from 630 to 850 in the 30-minute session that you have. So
So it is 30-minute session. And do you provide any um what do you call, like a robe, or like, I know you said least amount of clothing, and or do you ask them to bring the, how do you
So in the red light room, you don't really need, I do provide a towel.
okay.
Um, but the red light room, there's a lock if they feel more comfortable locking the room. But it's typically, myself or, sorry, there's a train coming through. I don't know if you can hear the train.
No, no.
Um, there's typically people in like the salt room or the sauna room. So I don't typically have other people walking around, in outside of the room. So it's just me. So people feel safe enough to be in the rooms. Um, but yeah, I do provide a towel. Um, and then we do have a curtain in there too to like close off the panel. So yeah.
So the curtain will close off the panel. Okay.
So the panel is on the wall, and then I have a curtain that goes across so they feel more comfortable
Yes.
being in the room.
Got it.
I don't
Okay.
know. It's kind of like, I guess, when you go in a doctor's office and they close the
Yes.
curtain. It's kind of like that. So
Yes.
it's a little more private.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for um letting us imagine how it is. Okay. For somebody who has not been there, and they will feel safe, and you provide the towel, so the red light will penetrate through the towel. It's thin enough that will penetrate through the towel.
So the towel, they'll use the towel just until I turn on the red light. And
Got
then once I leave, they will take the towel off.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So um, tell me a little bit about the sauna, the infrared sauna. Is it infrared sauna
It
or?
is infrared sauna. Yeah. So it's red light. Just, yeah. Um, Again, you get the red light, the wavelengths of light through the infrared. So it's different than a traditional sauna. Um, Traditional sauna is more steam and it gets hotter. Infrared sauna is a dry heat and the highest it'll go is 140 degrees. That's what I have it set on. And again, I will say if people ask questions about, should I use this, please ask your doctor. Um, I do have people who set their programs to only get to 120 degrees. So everybody's different. Everybody reacts different to heat, right? So, but I always say, ask your doctor if you're not comfortable and, you know, because if some people have, cardio or cardiologists or seeing a cardiologist, please ask them before you go into a sauna. I would say that if you go to any gym, anywhere that has a sauna, if you're not comfortable and you ask questions. So I
Thank
always
you.
say that.
Um,
Oh, one other thing is staying hydrated is so important in everything I do, red light, salt, and sauna. Make sure you're drinking enough water and then adding some electrolytes to that also will help with the hydration.
so after the sauna and after the red light and after the salt room?
Before, before, during, if you could do during, before, during, and after,
Oh, okay.
all day long. Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
yeah.
And and you mentioned some people want to keep the infrared sauna at 120 degrees. So what would be, if somebody who has not tried the infrared sauna, what would you say most people prefer to be in? That's why you said 120, they most people prefer, or some people prefer.
Um, Most people prefer to get hotter to 140. I just have some people who can't always handle the heat to get that high. So 120 is a good average number for people. If you've never done sauna, and I guess I always err on, making sure that people are comfortable. I would say start out at 20 minutes and then build yourself up to 30 minutes or 40 minutes. So yeah, even with red light, I would say, if 30 minutes is too much, let's start at 20 and let's start at half the light until your body gets used to using these different modalities.
That is a great answer. So yeah, I'm sure the listeners are thinking like, okay, which one? How many is good time? Okay, so my next question is, can someone, if it is their first time, can someone do sauna first and red light therapy and then salt? Or you would say, hey, if it is your first time, just do the salt or do the red light and sauna. What would you say?
I recommend you can do salt and red light or salt and sauna. Again, everybody's different, but I recommend salt you can do anytime. I would recommend doing red light or sauna, not both in one day. I know there's people who do the red light every day, and those people are probably used to using it. But I would recommend even doing it, the red light and or the sauna every other day. Because I always say, when you go and exercise, when you're lifting weights, you do your arms one day, you do your legs the next day. So you need your body to recover. So that's why I'm always like, I would do every other day. So I always tend to err on the side of caution for people, especially if you've not ever done it.
Thank you. Okay. So salt people can do anytime and then
Yes.
alternate the red light and the sauna. Um, and I know you said every other day. So typically, would people do twice a week, three times a week?
So yes, I've had a couple people who have come in when they started, like back in November. They came in and did twice a week. And that was more on their schedule,
Mhm.
what they could do with their schedule. But if you start at 3 times a week and then you start feeling better over, a couple 2, 3 weeks in, then we back off and say, oh, well, maybe you can come twice a week, and then we'll back off once a week. So now once a week or every other week, once your body is healing, that's what I would recommend.
Um, Other than the offering salt and sauna salt room sauna, red light therapy. You also mentioned um, you have somebody doing healing touch and somebody doing sound bath meditation. And do you offer it as a gathering place for women or men and women and men or community to come and gather? Like what other, do you offer anything else?
Yes, so we started doing Soulful Saturday in January, and you were one of my guests, so thank you. I appreciate that. Um, so once a quarter, we're going to do Soulful Saturday, where we bring different practitioners, wellness practitioners, in to speak on different topics that people are curious about and want to learn more about. So our next Soulful Saturday is May 16th, from 9:30 to 12:30. Um, that's going to be, we haven't, we're working on the topic. It's going to be around nervous system and vibration. So more to come on that. And then I do once a month, I do a networking event to invite people, businesses, community, anybody in the community to come and just connect. So,
Why do you think it is important? What has that got to do, or does it have anything to do, the connection, you know, and the community? Does it have anything to do with healing?
well, yes, I believe that connection, relationships are important to our healing process. Someone can walk in here and you never know what someone is dealing with. And sometimes just making a connection like we did, what, several years ago, was very healing. Like, how do I explain it? You, again, going back to, you never know what people are going through, and when they see you and you just make an eye contact, you smile, that can be one little thing that that person needed in that moment, in that time. So yes, I truly believe connecting is healing.
Um, so you said you started the business, the Salt and Soul Wellness in November of 2025. What is one business advice that you have received that has helped you? And if there is any business advice that you think that has not helped you?
Mm. Well, I always think I can do everything. No. Um, I think it's baby steps. You
Mm.
know, you it's the elephant in the room. Taking baby bites at a time and baby steps to get to kind of where you want to go. Oh, I ever know that.
No, that's a
I've
good
gotten
principle though.
so much advice, but I'm just trying to think of that one thing. Um, I think that it's really been just, if you need help in your business, ask, and have a few people around you that you trust, that you can ask those questions and get the advice. And you don't always have to take the advice from people. You know, people always want to help us. So that's what I will always go back to. Ask for help because people are always there to help us.
Thank you. Thank you for that because I was waiting for you to add that word, one little phrase where you said, ask for help when you need it. Ask for help to those individuals you trust, not to anybody and everybody.
Right.
So that is so important. I'm glad you mentioned that. And when you said one bite at a time, one step at a time, right? If you are a person, you have a big burger, or if you have a big plate of meal, or if you have a big slice of pizza, you cannot shove everything into your mouth, right? You have to make it into pieces. Even if you have a plate full of food, you have to take one bite at a time. That is how you can consume whatever you want to consume, whether it is emotionally, physically.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think having a plan, and always going back to that plan because things change over time. And always dream. That's where I'm finding, dreaming is great because, we want always are, as a business owner, what I'm learning is we always want to do everything. But when you look at your plan and then you take it step by step, but then always have that big dream that's there. Never stop dreaming.
that's awesome. That is so awesome. Thanks for speaking from your heart. That is important. And as business owners, we wear multiple hats, and sometimes we have dream, but then we have a plan. And sometimes we are able to accomplish just a tiny bit, a sliver from that plan, but we have to continuously dream and not let go of the dream. At the same time, make sure your dream aligns with your plan, and take little step at a time, and you will be able to accomplish and feel your dream fulfilled as long as you align that. So that is great.
Yes.
Um, can you share? I'm sure your guests have shared with you how coming to your space of wellness has helped them. A story, a testimonial, a comment, a guest said that deeply just moved you, and you felt like, hey, I'm aligned with my purpose. This is meant to be.
Yes. So when I first opened, it's how are we going to get the name out there? So I was sitting here one day and two women walked in. They're like, "Yeah, we heard about you through a mutual friend." And they came in and they just kind of looked around and I showed them everything. And they were kind of like, "Okay, is that it?" I said, "Oh, no, no, here, I have chairs out here. Why don't we just sit and chat for a while?" So we probably chatted for an hour and just learned more about them. And uh, Sue said to me, "I found my peaceful place." And that, like, I mean, it still kind of brings tears to my eyes because that's what I want for people when they walk into soul moments. Sorry. I
No,
get
no,
emotional
same here.
about that because when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that I helped her in that moment and find a place to just be. So, yeah, that was like back in November, early on when I first opened.
That's a great affirmation for yourself that you have created the space for with the purpose, and that person came in and said, "Hey, I found my peaceful place."
Yes.
That's an affirmation from the universe, from God, from your guides to tell you, "Hey, you made the right decision."
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
And I still have people saying that, but that one just stands out the most. And
Yeah.
Sue still comes in. So we've become friends.
Thank you for sharing that story, and never say sorry for feeling those emotions, because that's what makes us human, right?
Yes.
Just be and feel those emotions. And if we just shove that emotion, it's like, oh, I want to portray myself as the strong person. Yes, but it's okay to be a strong person and still feel those emotions. So
Yes. Thank you for
thank
that
you.
reminder.
Thank you. Thank you
You're welcome.
for sharing that, so the audience can see your authenticity, feel your authenticity, what they can experience when they come to your wellness space.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, okay, before we wrap it up, um, what is one thing when I ask you this question, I want you to spontaneously tell me whatever comes to your mind. What is one thing that others value and you don't?
Oh my God. That was hard. Can we go back to that? No.
Other people value and you don't value that. What is one thing?
Gosh, news.
News. Okay, okay, that's fine. If you have in your power, you have all the power, right? And if you have power in your hands, in your ability to create a principle or a law that is going to be beneficial for everyone, what would that be?
Love.
Oh, yes.
I owe nothing but love to everyone.
So what principle or law would you create with the love?
The law would be we owe nothing but love to everyone. That's the law.
It's a beautiful law. Okay, that's very moving. And that goes with who you are. Okay, a quick like a rapid fire. Okay, if Salt and Soul has a mascot, what would it be?
Oh, Archangel Michael,
Ooh, okay. Um, a quote that you live by.
a code that I live by. Uh, always, well, I guess this is a quote that and I'm not going to probably always get it right, but Maya Angelou, has said, people will not remember what you do or say, but they always remember how you make them feel. That's what I live by. People always remember that, how I make them feel.
Okay, a moment this week that made you smile.
Last night when I got to go home early from work and Ben said, "Oh, I get to spend time with you."
That's nice. One thing that you're grateful for right now.
Being with you today, I am so grateful.
Thank,
Anytime that I can spend time with you, I'm grateful.
thank you. Thank you. That means so much, and I receive it. I'm so humbled and honored. Thank you. What does wellness mean to you in one sentence?
Wellness is a journey. Um, and it's mind, body, and spirit.
I'm so aligned with that. Yes. Sound bath or silence? What do you prefer?
Oh, I like them both. Um, but I think I would go more silence because
Okay.
then I go in.
Okay. Um, your favorite part of watching your guests walk out after a session? Just one favorite part.
When they say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't believe that this would work for me." And then I give them a hug. It's my favorite
Beautiful.
part.
Yes. And the people who receive, if you haven't been to Salt and Soul Wellness, all those listeners, you got to go visit. You will be pleasantly surprised, and then you get to get a hug from Lisa. And it is
Yes.
wonderful energy just being around Lisa. So uh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. One service people are always surprised they love.
Salt therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, the salt therapy is also called halotherapy. So if you type in salt therapy, it might show up as halotherapy.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and one word that describes your energy today.
Oh, um, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm just excited and happy to be here.
Oh, okay, that's nice. That
That's hard to
Lisa just
say,
made up a
actually.
word. Oh, okay. What is one wellness trend you are not sure you will ever try?
What is one wellness?
Trend you are not sure you will ever try.
Oh, uh, the cold plunge. I don't like being cold, so but people
Ah,
love it, so
yes, yeah, that is true. What is one wellness trend you secretly love?
um oh, there's many. I think something that I think the light, the red light and the phototherapy light, like through life wave, um, because we all are made of light, and yeah, so
That is awesome. And on that note, when Lisa said we are all made of light, um, all the listeners, Lisa will share her phone number, her office phone number, and where she's located, and I will add that to the podcast notes as well. And when she mentioned that we are all made of light, I encourage you to let that light shine and speak authentically with love, because she's talking about love. And she says that's the only thing, in your own words, um, the love that she said love is the only thing that we can.
we owe nothing but love to everyone.
There you go. We owe love, but nothing to everyone. So, um, speak your truth with that love, embodied love, and let your light shine and be
Yes.
your authentic self, because there is somebody out there is waiting for you to let your light shine, and you will never understand how much you have impacted that person until you let your light shine. So stop dimming the light. And if you feel like you are letting your light shine so bright, that's okay. Let them, people
Yeah.
who cannot handle your light can wear their sunshades. Yes, they can wear their shades. It's okay.
Yes. So beautifully said.
You're welcome. And how can they contact you, Lisa?
So Salt and Soul Wellness is we're located at 6946 Tylersville Road in Westchester. And my number is 513-309-5256. And the website is salt N, the letter N. So salt N soul wellness.com.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your time and
Thank
look
you.
forward to my next session. And yeah, keep spreading the love and keep providing your light to everyone. And, I look forward to getting your next hug.
Yes, I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much. Love you.